What's goody, everybody? It's your girl Nat Clark, and we're back with another episode. And today we're doing a duo cast. Today, I'm Nat Clark, and I have a guest with me. We have Elana LeChay. She's a dear friend of mine from Randolph College. And today we're just gonna talk about a little bit of everything. We're gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk about family, fellowship, faith. We're gonna talk about life after college. We're just gonna dive deep into that and just get to talking. So, Elana, what's up?
Yes, it's so crazy because I literally put that dear friend from college. Literally, I'm like, bro, okay, saying everything.
Yes,
Yes, I'm so
yes,
excited. I'm so excited to be here and us finally doing this.
I
Like
know.
I said before, we were recording. You look so good, so
Thank you,
healthy, everything. I'm
likewise.
like,
I just took my hair out, so right now it's a little curly, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get it done
yes.
probably sometime tomorrow if I have some flexibility. But yeah, Lana, like I know you for quite some time now. I met you through a teammate named Jasmine Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we started going to church together at Randolph, and at first I was like, all right, this church cool, but once we started going to church together and actually fellowship with each other, we kind of just stay connected ever since. You know what I'm saying? So, and I
Yes.
think Jazz for us, I think Jasmine, because she's the one that like introduced me. I think her for just allowing us to meet and actually have like a close friendship. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm glad we're still
Yes.
connected. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then having all these classes together,
Right. Yes.
having the same major and stuff. So that was cool.
Yes. We were both struggling at times with some papers but we were all on the same ship, you know what I'm saying, as far as like
hmm
taking the same classes and writing the same type of essays and papers and things in that nature. And we're both passionate about media. And I think that's another thing that allowed us just to build off of that relationship. So can you I guess
Yes.
we could just talk about that for a second.
Yes,
um
we can. And then I have
yeah.
some stuff for you.
Okay.
Okay, so you wanted to talk just about media or
I mean, we can start with media, but we can, what I'm saying, also talk about other things as well, for sure.
yeah. Whatever you want to do. I can do like a little intro and then I have some stuff for you.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yes. So it's so funny and cool because we're both podcast episodes. So it's so cool to do like a duo.
Yeah, right, right.
But yes, so I also have a podcast called Humility with Elana LeChay. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do the intro and then go ahead and have some questions for Nat.
Of course.
So yo, what's up? What's the deal? What is up? It's Elana, yo. Everybody knows. And so
Hey.
we have a literal special, like she said, really dear friend from college, Nat Clark, and she also has her own podcast, and she's a podcast host, and it's called the Nat Clark Show, where she talks about sports in college and professional world while interviewing people from her hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was actually was gonna talk a little bit about college. But before we get into it, how are you feeling?
I'm
Just in
feeling great.
general.
I'm feeling great. Energy is good. This year has been it's been a roller coaster. And I
Mhm.
said that in a good way, not a bad way. There were
Mhm.
a lot of highs and there were some lows. I got to experience different things, whether it's people, with culture, different atmospheres, and I
Mm.
got to learn a lot. Especially just being out of college for like a whole year now. Isn't that crazy? You know what I'm saying? So I think within this past year, just being home and being adjusted to not being a student athlete anymore has been a big adjustment for me, especially when you've been doing this for like most of your life. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
but just learning how to navigate life after college athletics has been it was a struggle at first, you know what I'm saying, because you don't have that commodity anymore, so you're kind of like on your own, but at the same time you still have people that you met along the way, you know what I'm saying, you still have those connections. And
Mhm.
so I think just reaching out and then also just understanding, hey, I still have goals, I still have dreams, how am I going to get there, you know what I'm saying, so learning how to navigate with that, it's just been a big adjustment for me.
Yes, and I love that you're talking about life after college because, girl, I literally want to touch onto that because It has been an adjustment, and I feel like I have a personality where I'm like, no, keep going. There's, this, and that. But it's true. Like, I feel like it's not talked about
No.
enough
Yeah.
about the transition because it's so difficult. It can be, but it's beautiful. But there are challenges because when you're doing something super consistently for years at a time, and you having gone back for your masters and being an athlete, can you talk about what you meant a little more about not having that camaraderie?
Yeah, so like, being at school is like you're with your teammates 24/7. You know what I'm saying? You wake up, you go to practice, you go to workout, then you turn around, you go to D hall and you eat, and then you're in class.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of my day I'm with my teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like I lived with Jazz for 2 years. I I lived with Jazz for 2 years out of my undergrad years, you know what I'm saying? So and then like I said, we both had the same schedule when it came to practice, workouts, X, Y, and Z. We just didn't have the same classes. Because she was in a different major. She wanted to be a teacher and she is a teacher. So just like going from being with your teammates 24/7 to the point where you get sick of them and you like, yo, I can't be with y'all. Like Sunday was my rest day away. Like I would watch football, I would work on homework, I would shoot a couple episodes. But 6 days out
Mhm.
of that week, you're with your teammates. So just going from that type of lifestyle to being at home where you're all right, you're on your own schedule. So for me, being at home, I would get up early, like 5 a.m., 5:30, go to the gym, then I go to work, and then I stay at work for 7 to 8 hours out the week, and then I go back to the gym just to hang out with some of my friends who are guys who like to hoop like I do, and I'll go
Mhm.
home. But I'm not with teammates. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with teammates. I'm not with that same community and commodity when it came to being a student athlete. Like that's the adjustment that I'm talking about when it comes to just going from the student athlete lifestyle to the home on your own working lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. And later on I was gonna ask this, but since we're on the topic, I was gonna ask you, um, first and foremost, like as a student athlete, how did you or just in general doing college, how did you navigate God, sports and academics? Like what did that look like for you?
I think that kind of just goes back into like my background. I grew up going to church. Like faith was the one thing that kept me and my family strong in what it is to this day.
Mm,
And I think just having that strong background of just going to church, praising God,
mm,
giving Him the glory and everything that you do, kind of just helped me adjust to going away for being away 3.5 hours from home and just going into a whole new community and a whole new family. And at the end of the day, like I told myself, like after I graduated like high school, like years back, like I told myself like no matter what, I'm still gonna keep God at the center. Like I
mm,
may be introduced to like new things, new lifestyle, new cultures, new people,
mm.
new community. But at the end of the day, like I know who my father is, and I know I'm still gonna give him the glory
That's
in what I do. And I think
mm,
with that, it helped me to be and that's just how I am. Like with that, it helped me to like just be not only just be an athlete, but how I treat people as well. Um, I try to like my actions kind of reflect on who I am because of God. You know what I'm saying? So I think
yeah,
that kind of helped me navigate just from being an athlete to being a Christian to being a daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think that was a better, like, it wasn't hard for me.
That's good. And would you say you had a understanding of who God was before you understood like, okay, I want to do collegiate sports. I want to be play
Absolutely.
basketball. And I feel like maybe that was like good a foundation for you cuz I know that a lot of times it can be easy to miss God when you are talented at something or when you do have a gift. And I feel like it's so important because it's like without God, everything is like
Yeah.
crashing down. And I have watched some of your episodes and just about like keeping God at the center of it all. So that's pretty cool, and I love that because I
Yeah.
know one thing that you always made sure. I always saw you at FCA, and
I love FCA. I
yes,
got on the wristband right now. Like I love
bro.
FCA. I
And so
love it.
because there are a lot of people who will watch this who are in college right now or who will be going into college who may not have a faith right now or
Yeah.
who may have a faith. So what is FCA, and just plug it a little bit.
Yeah, FCA is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I got introduced to FCA from a mutual friend named Megan Westerman. Her last name's not Westerman anymore. She just got
Oh,
married. Yeah,
ah,
she got married. She got married to
that's
her. She just got married.
good.
But she's from the 7-5. She's from Chesapeake.
Okay.
She's like 15, 20 minutes. She ran cross country and track. Um,
That's
and I'm trying to date back. Like I got introduced to FCA through her. I think she had saw me one night at Crew, and she knew
okay.
I played basketball, and she was like, "Hey, like we live on the same hall, like, and we lived on the same hall, so we knew each other, beforehand."
Mm.
She was like, "Hey, like I know you play basketball, but we have to stink on FCA, and we meet once a week, at like noon, like right after lunchtime." And I was like, "FCA, what's that?" She's like, "It's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's just a group of us, a group of us women, who love God and who are athletes and trying to navigate, what I'm saying, being a student athlete on a college campus, away from home, things of that nature." I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Like, when's the next meeting?" So ever since she told me the first meeting, I went to every meeting ever since.
She's always there.
I was like, I'm in it. Like we in it. Like, so she told me about that, and I've been there ever since. From freshman year to grad year, and I just kept going because I love what we were doing. Miss Amanda was the leader at the time. She's not doing it anymore that I know of, because her husband, he's been struggling in the hospital trying to get
Oh
a new
wow.
lung. Yeah. So prayers to him and to them through that transition. But I just been going ever since. And then what I did was, like, I told my teammates about it. I told Jazz about it, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then I remember, like, one year, I want to say it was like junior year, like I got like 3 4 of my teammates to go to SCA. And the struggle was, like, later, like after COVID, because we didn't have it during COVID. After COVID, it was kind of a struggle to go because we had games. They would have it on Wednesday and we would play on Wednesday, and
Mm.
so they would have it during shoot around, and I can't miss shoot around because those are walkthroughs. So I would try to rush, after shoot around, like, yo, I gotta go to FCA. Like, I want to put up shots, but I need to get poured into before I go into this game tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's how my thought process
Mm.
was. So like I said, I love FCA. I love
Mm.
what it did for me at Randolph, and I think, honestly, like, I think that's what really kept me, like it kept my sanity. I'm not gonna lie, it kept my sanity, because there were many times where it was like, all right, I'm sick of this. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of getting the same results. I'm not seeing any growth. You know what I'm saying, within myself, within my sport. But there were a lot of times where it's like, yo, I needed FCA. I needed it today. So,
Mm.
but I love FCA. I love what they're doing as a community. And yeah, I love how it was at Randolph. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they could have that space for y'all, and just in general, having community, and like you said, I need to get poured into before I can go out here for this game, because it's really God at the end of the day who's
Yeah.
able to give you the strength, able to give you the ability to keep going mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit because in one of the articles that they wrote, you said it's been an enjoyable journey filled with highs and lows that helped shape my story and made me into the person I am today. And in the beginning, you were saying my experience here has provided me with opportunities to excel in my future endeavors and fulfill my dream of being a collegiate athlete. And so,
Yeah.
what were some of those highs for you throughout your career?
So highs, as far as like Randolph career, like we we had like back to back winning seasons. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had like 16 wins. It's never been done at Randolph women's basketball program history. So we were able to do that. My junior year, we beat the number one team in the conference, so that was memorable for sure. And we wound up jumping in the pool right after the game, like, and we had the picture of us running on the court at the MAC. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. So those were some highs. I was able to lead my team in 3-point percentage
Mm.
junior year. So that was cool. I didn't I was just shooting that ball. You get what I'm saying?
As
Like
you should.
I I was letting it fly. Like I felt like I ain't gonna lie, I kind of felt like Steph, but I ain't have it.
No,
I ain't have
literally
it like
back to back
I
every
was
time.
like I was doing well that year. And like I said, and then that year, junior year, we went to ODAX.
Mhm.
Never been to ODAC. Like I said, Randolph pro basketball history, women's basketball history, and we lost at ODAX the first game, and that was kind of heartbreaking. But we got to
Mhm.
ODAX, senior year, lost the second game. Second game, I think second game. We lost either way. We didn't win the championship, but those were some highs. As far as like performance and producing on the court, especially when it was like, all right, I knew I wanted to be a factor, and I knew I was an upperclassman, so it was like, how can I help my team the best way that I know how to? And it's like, all
Mhm.
right, let's just get in the gym, let's shoot. So I feel like just the preparation going into both of those seasons kind of helped me produce and help my team out the best way I can. I was shooting the ball, and that was also just playing defense, doing little stuff that my team needed to get the win. So I would say those are some highs for sure. Yeah.
I love that. And did you ever have like a, because always in the WNBA, they're always saying like those welcome to WNBA moments. Did you ever have a collegiate moment where you were like, oh, I'm playing college basketball, where it was like, oh, wow?
I think I would say like I played a little bit like freshman year, but I feel like it didn't really hit me until ooh, that was a lot of games. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a lot of moments. I don't think it was just one.
Mm.
You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like when I was playing well, like I would say like the first game that I actually checked into, it was like the third or fourth game of the season, my freshman year, and we were in New
Wow.
York. We wound up losing, but like when I first checked into the game, like I produced really really well. Like I wound up getting like 8 points off the bench and shooting like four or five attempts per
Wow.
night. So, but I was ready to
Oh
play.
my
That was the thing.
days.
It was an itch. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was an itch because to this day, I still don't understand why I didn't play the first two games. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I still don't understand why I didn't play the first two games. But when my time came to actually play and check in as a college player, I was ready. And I feel like when I'm ready, when I feel like I'm ready, I feel like I'm gonna produce well. And I feel like each time I produce well. Each time that I knew that I done put in the work, I done did the dirty stuff, and I checked into a game. I felt ready. I produced really well for my team. So and I feel like it was like I said, first college game checking in was one of those first like, all right, I'm actually playing college basketball. I'm actually living the dream that I've been talking about living since I was like really young. So yeah.
That's cool. That's exciting. But I do think it's important and it's super encouraging, especially for those coming in. And like obviously it was probably discouraging, but playing the third game as a freshman, that's a big deal. Like because I know sometimes it is difficult when they already have, the lineup. So but
Hmm.
it is encouraging where you were like, I was ready. Because I feel like a lot of times when we're waiting, especially even spiritually, like it's like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
just
lack
waiting
off
for that
or I'm just
time, that moment.
waiting. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
try. But you were like, no, I was ready. I was locked in and you were preparing. And so how did you keep that and maintain that mindset of like, I'm gonna still practice on my skill and keep on doing what I'm called to do, my gifts, so that when I'm put out, I'm going to show out.
Well, honestly, I think that also goes back to the type of person I am. Like, I'm not gonna quit.
Mhm.
When there's been many times in my life and in other people's lives when things don't go our way, we don't stop, we keep going. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I felt like, and I questioned like, am I good enough? Like, am I ready?
Mhm.
There were a lot of questioning moments within myself where it was like, Nat, are you ready for this? Are you ready to play at this level? Are you
Mm-hmm.
ready
Mm-hmm.
to sacrifice to produce and help your team win? So like there were definitely moments where I questioned myself, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let somebody or something stop me from seeing light at the end of the tunnel. You get what I'm saying? I'm still gonna do everything in my power to make whatever I want possible at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. And I knew that was possible. So like when I have something set in my mind that I know I can do and I know I can like execute, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna work hard to see that fruition. You know what I'm saying? So, like that hard work, that mentality that I have to just keep grinding and make things possible for myself, that'll never fade away. And that's just the type of person I am. That's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? We don't just sit down and stop trying. No, you keep
Mm-hmm.
trying. You may fail, and when you do fail, you're
Uh-huh.
gonna learn from those failures. I mean, but guess what? At the end of the day, you're still gonna win. Why? Because you kept trying.
Cause you
And
tried.
you kept your head forward. You know what I'm saying? You kept your head on
That's
straight.
deep. That's so good. You have to keep going. Cause I feel like I've been in a mind space. It's like it's a good reminder for me, especially like now of like, okay, you have to keep going. Like there is no option to just make excuses. Like there's times where you will fail and times where you can just, reflect on it with God, but giving up is just it's not an
It's
option.
not an option. And at the end of the day, you gotta have faith. They
Yeah.
say if you have faith as big as a mustard seed, then all things are
Literally.
possible. And faith without works is dead. So if you put in the work but you don't have the faith, then what is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is coming from the Bible.
You dropped
If you
the mic.
like you gotta have faith. And I had faith in myself and
Mm,
knowing what I can do because I done proved people wrong so many times.
mm.
And that's just been my whole life. Like that's a whole nother story. But you gotta have faith. You gotta
That's
have
wow. Cause I've been talking about faith for like the past 2 weeks, and I always keep talking about faith of a mustard seed, and I googled it,
gotta
and
have
it's
faith of a
so
mustard seed.
small, and
So
I'm like, even though it's so small, and that's what God is saying, like you have to have faith of a mustard seed, and it's so tiny, but yet in our own nature, it's so hard to have this
it
much
is.
faith. And it's
It
like,
is.
no, you have to have faith, and you can't just be like, God will deal with it. He got it. It's like, no, we also have to put in that work. We have to have that faith, and it's so important. So,
Yeah.
okay, before we move on, I have a little segment for us.
Lordy. Okay.
Okay, so the next segment, I'm gonna spell out a learn, and then we're going to learn something new about you.
Okay.
So LEARN, let's learn something new. So, what is something that you want to be remembered for?
Mm. Something I want to be remembered for. Um that I gave everything that I had to give when it came to achieving my dreams and goals. Uh and that honestly like yeah, like I give 100% every all the time. Like I don't just stop
Mm,
trying. I always put in the work and put in like the consistency, and I have that drive. Like I want to be remembered as a hardworking woman who also loves God at the end of the day.
mm.
So I think that's something I want to be remembered for. And also that I'm caring. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love talking to people. Like, I love making connections and I have a good heart. So yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that is true about you. And what is something that most people don't know about you?
Um, don't know about me. Uh, hmm. I don't know. I mean, I feel like don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm an open book. Like you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you an answer. But don't know. I don't
Like,
like
is there any?
burgers.
You
I feel like
don't?
people know that. Yeah,
I
I feel
did
like people know
not
that though.
know. You don't
People
like
I feel like
burgers,
don't like burgers.
bro?
I feel
Not
like
even with
people
bacon.
who know me, people who know me kind of know that. So I feel like that's not a really good example.
True.
Oh, I got you. I can draw, and I know how to roller skate. I know how to roller skate. Boom, bow. Let's do that. I know how to roller skate.
She said, boom. Okay, roller skating. Like, you be
Yeah.
going like crisscross?
Yeah, so like we like growing up, like we went skating like every day out the week, and
Every single day?
every day. There was a point, Lana. There was a point in my life when I was skating more than I was playing basketball, and
No way.
yeah, bro. Like
Yo, we gotta go skating then.
I'm down. I have my. They used to call us roll bounce family. Like we used to go every day out the week. I don't go as much as I
What?
do now, but when I was legit, you feel me? Like we was going every freaking day, and I can skate. Don't get me wrong, I can skate. I need some work on some footwork, but I can skate. I can bust it down.
Yo.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's
I
my
need to go with
family.
you and your family because now we all gotta go.
We gonna turn up the ranks. I'm telling you
Yo,
right now.
have you? So, do you like ATL the movie?
I like roll bounce, but yeah.
Oh, roll bounce is good. I like roll bounce. She
We
said,
that's
call
kind of that kind of inspired us. Like we watched roll bounce. I was like 6, 7 years old, and like my dad was like, "Yo, you should go skating." Ever since then, we went skating, and then of course I got older and like life started lifing and stuff, and divorce and all that. But like yeah, like but we would go skating like every freaking day. Like I said, there was a point in my life when I was skating more than I was hooping. So yeah,
that is
I like
wild.
a lot of people don't know that,
Dang.
but I yeah.
Oh yeah, we gonna have to put this to the test.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so and something we have in common with our podcast is a space for others to be heard. What motivated this for you?
Um, I think honestly, like everybody has a story, especially like athletes. Like I knew I wanted to do a podcast because like apart from just like I knew it would look good on the resume. But at the end of the day, I love talking with people. You know what I'm saying? Like I would interview athletes in high school. I would do the morning announcements. I would talk to them about their highlights and like their games and things like that. But when you really look at an athlete, like there are a lot of hidden stories, hidden things about them that they don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just create a platform where it was like, all right, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a worker in sports, like a manager or a coach, you know, there are a lot of things that could get misconstrued as an athlete. And so I just wanted to create a platform to where like, yo, this is a safe space. Whether you utilize the space or not, this is your space to talk. You know what I'm saying? About being an athlete, about how to manage whether you're in school, whether you're navigating life, whether you're trying to navigate, performance, on that type of level. I just wanted to create that space where they can like be themselves without, the world looking at them as such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. And it is difficult because it's like all eyes on you, or people start to be like, "Oh, I know them as this person," and for what they can do or what they have done. And do you feel like you had any pressures with that, like where people would just see that and
Say that again. Can you say that again?
like did you have any moments where you feel like you were only seen as an athlete?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I kind of felt that a little bit in high school and then a little bit in grad school because in high school like there were times where it's kind of like hard to enjoy my sport because my parents were going through a divorce. So that
Mm,
kind of just took a toll on me. Like, yeah, I like basketball is supposed to be my happy place, but at the end of the day, when practice is over, I gotta go home and face reality. So I feel
mm,
like I kind of masked that really well, especially in high school. But then at the same time, like my teammates, like they weren't really like good. They weren't really good people. They weren't really good friends to me. So why would I open up to them? You know what I'm saying? So that I think that kind of just threw in like, oh, Nat is always going hard. She's always on time. She's staying back. That's because I didn't really want to go home. Cause if I went home, it's like, all right, this is
Mhm.
reality. So they kind of saw the Nat is always doing this. Nat is always working hard to the, and then they, like I said, they had their own vendetta with me from high school. And then it's like with college, it's like I kind of went through some anxiety in grad school where it was like my mental was just, it
Mm.
was going up and down, and so I had to mask that again, and just, all right, Nat, like I wasn't having a good shooting. I was having a good shooting year my last year. Like my last year was, if you look at my stats, my stats were shit. It was awful. I had the worst year, grad year, but my mental was so messed up. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get out of my own head, so I had to mask what was going on in my head to try to go out here and perform. And I feel like that was really hard within myself. So I feel like those
Yeah.
are two instances, and I feel like the only person that kind of knew what was going on was Jazz because she was right there. So kudos to Jazz. She knew what was going on at the time because she saw what was happening behind that gym, you know, behind the locker room, and then to step out and just try to like block it, but at the same time it was affecting me on the court. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of hard to enjoy the last year, and then other stuff was going on too. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That is deep. And I feel like it's really, it shows just your strength to be able to continue to go through with that. And do you feel like there was a correlation? Like, how do you in high school feel like you navigated and got to the other side without blaming God for the divorce or for not going to college still and playing sports? Like, throughout that divorce, like, how did God, and like, obviously, you can speak about it now. So, how did you do that? Like, how did you navigate that?
I think at the end of the day, like God was like with me the whole time. Like it
Mm,
was like I didn't, like some people may like blame God for what happened. I kind of looked at it as like, all right, God, how are we gonna get through this? Because at the end of the day,
mm,
like you had the final say. So I feel like He helped me get through it just by focusing on Him and not focusing on the situation at hand. And I think that's what kind of just pushed me even further. And then at the end of the day, it was like, all right, Nat, you still have this dream, you still have this goal. How are we gonna like achieve this goal to like get to college? But not only get to college, play in college. So I feel like when I had that dream and that goal like in my head, like it just helped me go even harder, but still focus on God and not focus on the situation that was going on.
mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's good. And then for grad school, how did you get through that? Because you say you felt like you had to kind of mask it. Do you feel like it kind of lasted all the way until it was finished, or what did that look
I
like?
So like I would go, so like Jazz, like she would invite me to like crew. I went to crew a couple times because I didn't really go to crew a lot um in undergrad, but she invited me to crew. I went to crew, and that kind of took some of the anxiety off. And then I went to church, of course, more. I prayed a lot. Of course, I talked to Jazz. I talked to one of my best friends from back home. He was very supportive that uh um in that season. He was very supportive because he kind of understood what was going on as far as like in
Hmm.
basketball terms, because it was a basketball thing that was going on in my mental. So I was able to talk to him, and he kind of helped me with that. And then honestly, I think at the end of the day, I just had to learn how to trust. Like I kept trying to figure out like, all right, how am I going to get to the end of this tunnel and not, you know, just sink so low, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to trust God even more and rely on Him even more, so that way. Uh oh, I can't see you. You still there, Lana? I think she's having a connection issue. Um, 1 second, guys. Oh, hold on. We're just gonna.